Coming up on Wave TV, Pierce Collins gives us information on Facebook's most recent controversy.
And Jessica Hinthorn is back displaying more artistic talent.
Good morning, Somerville. I'm Dalton Wiggins.
And I'm Brendan Taylor. Today is Friday, April 13th, and Wave TV starts now.
On April 10th, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg testified before Senate regarding Facebook's relationship with Cambridge Analytica.
Nearly 80 million users have had their information hacked. Here's Pierce Collins with more on that matter.
Followed by more conflict, as South Carolina State Representative Mike Pitts is introducing a new bill that allows debate on secession over gun laws. Jelani Moore elaborates.
Recently, some info regarding the safety of many Facebook users has been leaked to the public. It was revealed that Cambridge Analytica, a data mining company, exploited Facebook to steal millions of people's profile info using fake apps created by a man called Professor Kogan. They said that they used this info to help create targeted political ads to be used during the previous presidential campaign. This info was sold from Kogan to Cambridge Analytica. The previous co-owner of the company, Christopher Weil, admitted to all the info stolen by the company. With all heads turned to Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook, he first denied that it was Facebook's fault at all, then soon apologizing for a, quote, breach of trust. This past Wednesday, he testified in front of the Senate, admitting that he knew Cambridge Analytica had the info, but not thought that they have used said info, not until now. Zuckerberg said that they are going to take precautionary measures not only to fix these current problems, but to also prevent this in the future as well. He also said that they soon will be letting everyone know whose info was stolen. That's it for right now. We'll have to see how this plays out in the upcoming future. Reporting from Wave TV, I'm Pierce Collins.
Thank you, Pierce and Jelani. In student news, remember that there is a blood drive taking place in the library throughout the day, so don't miss your scheduled time. Dorchester District 2 is holding a summer career camp for rising 9th and 10th graders from June 4th to the 7th. Applications can be picked up from Mr. Miller's office, and the application deadline is April 20th. Also, reminder that the SHS Theater's newest production, The Music Man, will be showing from April 19th to the 21st. Don't miss out on our amazing Green Wave talent. Back to the show. Jordan Hofert tells us if using helpful academic applications are acceptable with teachers. Then, Molly Ackerman showcases a Filipino orphanage in need that shares a special connection with an SHS student.
About 50% of high school students are stressed over the workload they carry. Between sports, homework, and school, we tend to find ourselves struggling for time. But with the use of a couple apps, we can free up a few of those minutes. We talk to Spanish teachers about their thoughts on the use of translators and study apps.
Now, translator is another matter because we encourage students to not use that because I tell my students that it's free and it's free for a reason because it's worthless as far as translation.
Duolingo is really popular among students. There's a Spanish dictionary app. Translators, they can be valuable. Like I tell kids to use them as like a dictionary.
Next, we talked to Ms. Stone about the use of PhotoMath.
I've not seen any apps. The only apps I've seen are PhotoMath, which the students have used. And it doesn't exactly teach the way we may teach, but it will at least show them the correct answer. So if they do their work on their own and they use it to check their answers, it's a good one. I don't know of any others.
You can find Quizlet, Duolingo, and PhotoMath on the App Store. We hope you find this useful, Somerville. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Jordan Hofert.
There are millions of orphans in the world, many of which don't have the adequate amount of supplies to help them live comfortably. We talked to Crystal Kalinko about how her family's orphanage is in need of multiple supplies.
My grandma has an orphanage in the Philippines called Home of Hope. It has kids aged from 2 to 16 years old, and there's about 50 of them.
If you have any old clothes, shoes, school supplies, and new toiletries that you would like to donate to help these children, please bring them to room 146 during ILT and between classes.
I think it's important to give back to not just our local community, but like those that are suffering in third world countries as well. And it's important to take into account that like there's kids our age going through rougher times, and we should do whatever we can to help them.
Be sure to help children in need. Reporting for Wave TV, I'm Molly Ackerman.
Thanks, guys. Here's a friendly reminder that a little can go a long way for those in need.
Recently, there has been a huge surge in the heavy metal scene. Seth Marks gives us more on this genre of music.
followed by Jessica Henthorn with this week's Art Corner.
Here in our quiet state of South Carolina, there's a scene that's a little bit far from quiet. The South Carolina metal scene is a scene that includes genres such as melodic death metal to metalcore to indie hardcore jazz punk. Despite the aggressive music and terrifying band names, the people in the Charleston metal scene act like a big loving family.
I'd say the best part about the Charleston metal scene is that there's so many bands and so many different genres to choose from, and everybody's like a big family. Like, you can have a pop punk show but also have some metal bands play on it, or an indie band, and basically no one really cares about what kind of music you play. As long as you support the scene and support each other, it's all good.
Someone new coming to the scene, they're welcomed. You can always come to a show and have fun and go in the pit or just stand and spectate everything at the show.
These shows are a great way to support local businesses such as Corey's Grilled Cheese and Creek City Vapors. Some of the bands have received a legendary status among the Charleston community, such as bands like The Sheba and Down Under and A Stained Glass Romance. If you are interested in going to one of these shows, follow 843 Core Charleston Metal Community on Facebook, where they post all the latest news about these bands. For Wave TV, I'm Seth Marks. Have a good day, Somerville.
Good morning, Somerville. Welcome back to another Art Corner. We don't have much today, but we do have a little time, so let's get started. First, we have a logo drawing by 9th grader Kendall Brown, who has been drawing since they can remember. Next, we have Logan Watson, another 9th grader who has been drawing for about 3 years. Then, we have a Medusa drawing by Kennedy Wiley, who has been drawing since 5th grade. Next, we have a digital piece by Marshall Graham, a media arts student here at Somerville. Lastly, we have a portrait of 12th grader Christopher Ankrum, who has been drawing for almost a month now. Thanks, Somerville. Keep in mind that we still have a theme going on. Come drop off your artwork in room 232. For Wave TV, I'm Jessica Henthorn.
Thanks, Seth and Jess. It's always nice to showcase our Green Wave artists.
Do you remember the good old days with Heelys and silly bands? Of course, we're talking about the early 2000s.
Here's Pierce Collins, who highlights our favorite childhood trends, both old and new.
Trends from our childhood still have a huge place in our heart. From the ridiculous silly bands to the more modern fad Fortnite, these are many trends from our childhood to now, and I'm here to dip my toe in the water to touch on a few of them, so here we go.
Giant collection takes up.
Silly bands were those animal character object rubber bands that you wrapped your arm to look like one of those cool kids. It didn't work for me. I mean, just look, this disembodied arm and he looks cooler than me. Next, we have Heelys. Heelys were those shoes that had the wheels in the bottom where you could skate around so you could pretend to be cool most of the time. I was never cool enough for those though. The Harlem Shake was the mosh pit style of dance that starts out calm enough but then quickly escalates to the point of insanity. Kinda like a high school party. Then Gangnam Style came out. You know the one, those one song with the Korean guy with the baggy pants. Yeah, that one. It was catchy for like 2 seconds and everyone made parodies of it, but it was fun while it lasted. Also, some phone games got really hyped, like Flappy Bird. It was that bird game that practically forced people to spend hundreds of dollars on new phones. Not the game was free, which made it really worse. So people just went to play Pokemon Go, not knowing anything about Pokemon. We see how long that lasted. So from silly bands to Club Penguin, trends have practically ruled over our entire lives. As for our childhoods, however, they will never be forgotten. So for Wave TV, I'm Pierce Collins. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was bad. I'm just gonna go play Fortnite now.
On Wednesday, April 11th, our Green Wave softball team beat crosstown rival Fort Dorchester 4-0. Even with the win, the night was more special as teachers selected by players were recognized to show their appreciation.
It's a huge honor just because it shows that our students actually see that we care about them and that we do our best to make sure not only they learn the material but that we care about them as students both in and outside the classroom, whether that be sports, arts, anything.
For Wave TV, I'm Hannah Simmons.
Thanks, Hannah and Pierce. That's all we have for you today. For Wave TV, I'm Brendan Taylor signing off.
And I'm Dalton Wiggins. Stay safe and have an amazing weekend, Somerville.